Check 1 2 1 check 1 2. Yo, this is gonna be a lot of shit. Then again, I'm recording it on my MP3 device, but I'm on my way to work. So last night was the edition of Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Shocking ending when the Wyatt family attacked Dean Ambrose. Is the main story here tonight. And kind of interesting that they're doing this. Very two popular wrestlers in the WWF, WWE, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I still call it the Fed. Of course, last night was very predictable. I went 5 for 6. I had the Miz upsetting Sheamus, but apparently, I miscalculated on that. But then again, Miz is a jobber wrestler, even though he's a former WWE heavyweight champion. WWE champion, whatever they call it. I know I sound like a complete asshole, but come on. He had 2 fucking titles, let's face it. There's only one title in the WWE, and that's the WWE Championship. The big gold belt was nice, no offense, but WWE Champion's a WWE Champion, or doesn't matter if heavyweight or what. Anywho, Cena, of course, won last night the number 1 contendership. So, heading to St. Louis in a couple weeks, I won't be surprised if they decide to add Seth Rollins into the mix to make a 3-way dance at Survivor Series. Anywho, like I said, it won't be surprising if they throw Seth Rollins into the mix at the Survivor Series to shake things up. But then again, who can really stop Brock Lesnar? Honestly, I really love the angle they're playing him now at every fucking pay-per-view. Cornette put it best on his podcast, on the Jim Cornette Experience on MLW Radio. You don't need to put the champion on every pay-per-view. Okay? Look at UFC right now. Does the UFC champion, heavyweight champion, fight every month? No. He fights like maybe every 3 months, maybe. Of course, then again, UFC is doing a lot of things much better than the WWE right now. Among other things, the Rhodes retained the tag belts. Kind of no surprise because, let's face it, there's only 3 teams in the tag team division, and it's kind of like, a 50-50 chance because there's the Rhodes, the Usos, and whoever teams together, Ryback and Curtis Axel, maybe. But let's face it, the Rhodes team, Goldust and Stardust, let's face it, it's kind of over right now, with the fans. People love it. Even though Stardust actually kind of looks like a local indie wrestler. By the way, like I said, I'm driving, going to work. There's a car right next to me. It has 3 fucking gauges on the door, on the driver's side door. And I don't know, it looks like some kind of fuel gauge or something. One looks like one is jumping back and forth. There's a county mountain next to me. He's a little bit jumpy. I'm at the red light, turning left. And there he goes. Looks like some shit's going down right now with the sheriff. Anywho, like I said, the Rhodes is the only tag team in the division right now. By the way, the County Mountains are playing like a battle in hell. But let's face it, the Rhodes are the only tag team in the WWE. No one's going. They're not going to lose the belts probably up until Mania, or at least at the Royal Rumble. And of course, other notable matches on the card, Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro had a decent match. Actually, a good match, I should say. It was one of my favorites of the night. I wish Dolph Ziggler was more in the heavyweight than the WWE Championship fight. Cesaro, I wish he was actually the WWE Champion. I actually wish if Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, or whatever you want to call him, if he did get hurt, I really wanted to see Cesaro and Daniel Bryan at Mania. That would be beautiful, man. And it would be, I guess, the whole, it'd be like a internet wrestling community fan dream main event. Those two bowing out for the WWE Championship. It would be beautiful, man. But like I said, they're kind of low in the card. It's fucking a shame. Of course, there's the pasty fuck Sheamus. You know, let's face it, the guy, never really liked the guy. But what you gotta do? He has some pull. But I don't know. I guess that's why WWE is really hurting. If you think about it, WWE is really hurting right now. Not TV wise, but just kind of product wise, because it's the same. It's the same guys who win at a time. Of course, don't get me started on the Divas, because let's face it, I'd much rather watch two chicks in one cup again than watch a Divas match. But at least with something like Two Chicks in One Cup, I can be entertained. It's never a dull moment when you're watching Two Chicks in One Cup. But let's face it, these are actresses. They're actresses. And let's face it, Ray Charles can wrestle better than some of the women in the diva division. My God. That's why you always go get a sandwich when the divas come on. It's the intermission of WWE program. But the road to WrestleMania starts tonight in San Antonio. I know some people are going to say you're talking out your ass, but let's face it, tonight in San Antonio, start of WrestleMania season. And it's going to be interesting what they have in plan for WrestleMania 31 in San Francisco. I just want to throw something out on the road to WrestleMania. I really don't want to see Undertaker again. It's really fucking sad. You're throwing a guy out there who his joints are out of place. He's old. He's only like 40 something or other, and he's broken down like a 70-year-old man. I don't see Undertaker coming back. Why would you? He's perfectly happy doing the booking committee shit, however. But there's a speculation Sting is going to do WrestleMania maybe for his last match ever. They're saying Steve Austin is coming back, which I really don't think Steve Austin is going to break his body for a little small payday from Vince. Maybe if they get fucking desperate, maybe if tickets are not selling real good at Blue Jean or wherever the fuck those 49 cheaters play at, that new shitty ballpark they play at. Maybe they need a fucking gimmick and go and have a fucking beer drinking contest. I don't know. Have him and Dutch Mantel beer drinking. Something weird, something really, really off the wall and dumb. Steve Austin doesn't need to step back in the ring. He has his shitty little podcast to fall back on. But he's training. He's training. He's getting in shape. He's going to do one more WrestleMania run. If he was going to do one more WrestleMania run, would you think they would go all out? They would go all fucking out, would you? Wouldn't you think the one last WrestleMania run he would done is a Steve Austin versus Goldberg, Steve Austin versus Hogan, something versus something to do with the angle of the whole Monday Night Wars. Austin's not coming back. Who the fuck he's going to come back against Ryback? The guy hasn't been main event for like a year and a half. Are you killing me? Are you fucking serious? Steve Austin's not coming back. It's been, what, 10 plus years out of the ring. Face it, Johnny, it's all over for Steve Austin. Steve Austin's not coming back. My God, quit with these wild rumors. But I do see Sting coming, doing at least one show or at least one guest appearance. You know, I can actually see doing like that. Maybe just something, or could it be just, or even just kind of just show up in the crowd or something. Yeah. Hogan's going to be there because he still needs the fucking money. Guy's 60 years old. Guy should have been retired long ago, but no. His fucking wife. His fucking ex-wife. Fucking bled him dry. That bitch bled him dry. No wonder the divorce rate's at 70%. But Hogan's gonna be at WrestleMania for shilling the fucking network. Don't forget, it's $9.99. That's right, it's $9.99 a month. You know, $60. $60 for a 6 months commitment. Alright. Hall of Fame suggesting ideas. Well, usually depends what city they're in. They're usually always have a inductee from that region or territory from back in the day. I don't know. This Bay Area, San Francisco. I don't really have anything with me right now. Of course, I'm driving at work. But it'd be kind of interesting who they decide to put in. I know everybody's going to make a big fucking stink about Macho Man. Of course, the DVD is coming out of another DVD of Macho Man is coming out. I can see something they're doing, putting the Powerful family in there. But I don't know. Maybe this is the year they want Macho Man in. Of course, they need Lenny to do the introduction. Speaking of Macho Man, the other day, or was it yesterday, when I got home, I watched flip on Texas Ranger on WGN, and Macho Man was on there. It was like the one with the UFC, they were fighting in a cage or some bullshit. I don't know, didn't really watch Walker, Texas Ranger, but I don't know, I guess you find out on the internet, you can check that out. What other good Hall of Famers? What about Owen Hart? Owen Hart be a great introduction into the Hall of Fame. Davey Boy Smith, of course. Hey, you know what? What's this? I got an idea. I got a fucking crazy idea. Marty Jannetty. Marty Jannetty is the hardest fucking worker in wrestling. He was the hardest working worker on the Rockers. You know, Mario Jannetty, in my opinion, gets a little bit more respect than Shawn Michaels. At least Mario Jannetty had some fucking skill. Michaels had some boy toy fucking looks. But Mario Jannetty for Hall of Fame. That's why I say Mario Jannetty for Hall of Fame. Let's get the fucking hashtag going. Jannetty for HOF. Who else can be in that Hall of Fame class? Owen Hart, Davey Boy Smith, Jannetty, I just mentioned those. Why not some old school guy? Bundy, King Kong Bundy. King Kong Bundy is actually very influential. He's very I'm a stubborn dick. He's a pop culture icon. I should say that. Let's face it. King Kong Bundy was the premise of A Married with Children. If you watch Behind E True High School Story, if you read up on Married with Children, the name Bundy came from King Kong Bundy. Of course, most people are saying it came from Ted Bundy, the handsome serial killer. But no, it was King Kong Bundy. And of course, Bundy did do like 2 episodes of Married with Children, where one episode early in the series he was like Peg's relative, and another one he played himself as himself and against Bud, and the episode was like Fight of the Bumblebee or Flight of the Bumblebee. This is like one of the 2 titles of the episodes, but it was like later in the series that happened. Why not put Bundy in the Hall of Fame? Of course, Bundy with the 5 count. Yeah, let's put Bundy in there. That's right. Hashtag Bundy for HOF. And also in the celebrity wing, fuck it. Going with a WrestleMania 2 connection. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Why not? Even though she was in for one Mania at Mania 2, announced with Ventura and Laura Alfred Hayes. You know what? Let's put Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, for WWE Hall of Fame. So let's get the hashtag going. Elvira for WWE HOF. That's why I say. Elvira has, Elvira is actually a fucking redhead. Paul Rubens said that on the Nerds the other day. By the way, Elvira has the most memorable tits right next to Dolly Parton, and that's saying something. But who in the hell knows? The road to WrestleMania starts tonight in San Antonio. It's gonna be a wow way to WrestleMania, folks. Sit back, strap in, and let's see the mayhem begin. For this edition of Ringside Chat audio podcast, check out at Ringside Chat on Twitter. Follow on there. Subscribe and like here on the YouTube at Ringside Chat YouTube channel. For the next time, see you at ringside, maybe.